Давай, 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 давай. Так, мне интересно. А, вообще звук-то будет? Звук должен быть. А, да, вот все. Кайфуха. Кайфуха. Так. Ага, ага, ага. Так, свойства. Ляпс. Во, все. Чатик должен заработать. Чатик должен заработать. И, и, ну, вот, все. Высокая задержка стоит. Поставил низкую. Ну ладно. Допустим. Допустим, допустим. Допустим. Так, перезагружаем страничку. И что не так? Звук-то есть вообще? Перезагружаем. Во, да, все. Звук есть. Нормас. Нормас. Так, ну вроде все. Так, 2К, 2К, все. Хорошо. Отлично. 2К показывает. Это показывает все. Новые какие-то. Нахуй убираем. Так, все. Нормас. Пиздец. Где все-то? Где все нахуй? Ну чё, где все? Ну всё. Окей. Так, только что то не нравится мне эта задержка. Я тогда, наверное, вот так буду в реальном режиме лучше отслеживать, например. Всё. Чё-то кто-то не может, блядь. Чё-то Катя не может подключиться. Ты это там, короче, ссылочку. Да, это чё-то человек потерялся. Человек потерялся. Так, человек пока находится. Я, наверно, там чё там поприветствую, короче, наверно, да. Только вот так немножечко. Или, может, наоборот, да, поменьше сделаю. Говорит: "Мы всё, и щас, блядь, бежим". Блядь, человека вообще не понимаю. Логики у человека. Говорит, если шо, мы готовы. Он такой, мы бежим. Ебать. Прикольно. Чё, введите текущее время? 11. Даже вот так, наверное. Интересная фича. Ну, допустим. Погодите-ка. Они начали, могу я кое-что сказать? Ну, давай. Ага! Спасибо, что... Многие относятся к этому как-то несерьезно. Вставляют часы на 12 и торопятся дальше. А вы потратили время, чтобы... Блин. Так, давайте договоримся. Так. Я вам так доверяю, что при следующем запуске игры просто выставите на этом экране свое любимое время. Выбирайте любое время, даже если оно неправильное. Вы заслужили. А теперь можем вернуться к игре. Бля, отлично. Спасибо, спасибо. Короче, приветствую на этом полумертвом канале, например, да. Играем мы в такую замечательную игру, которая такая огромная мета-ирония, такая прям пост-мета-ирония. Вот, называется «Притча Стэнли» или в оригинале «Стэнли Parable». Вот, это такая прям большая пародия, ну, скорее больше пародия, да, на такие, скажем так, игры. Веселые штаммы о играх, вот, как-то так. Сейчас я только немножко убедюсь, что все сделал правильно. Я просто, когда первый запуск игры был, ну, чтобы, в принципе, проверить, запускается, не запускается, вот, я поэтому в первый раз выставил, видимо, правильное время, и вот второй раз тоже выставил, меня игра похвалила. На что, собственно, сделала такой прикольный акцент. Так, посмотрим, что у нас там управление по... О, добавилась кнопка прыжка. Короче, в предыдущей версии этой игры не было прыжка, а теперь его добавили. Отлично. Упрощенное управление. Для действий не надо будет нажимать определенные кнопки. Так. Пробел. Ага, то есть вся разница в прыжке. Ну, кстати, в предыдущей части прыжка не было. А теперь его завезли. Это очень радует меня, да. Вот. Ну и да, еще одна прикольная фича этой игры, то, что он... Как это... Монитор в мониторе, и на том мониторе тоже можно увидеть движение мышки. Ну и, собственно, какое контекстное меню выбираем. Ну ладно. Без лишних слов. Погружаемся в эту замечательную игру. Только единственное... сейчас, секунду. Субтитры, да, чтобы вам было видно. Крупные субтитры, да, вот я как раз выставил. Очень большие. Прозрачные. Это... Увидите, зачем это. Вот, потому что будут приколы, которые можно не увидеть. Ну и, соответственно, надписи, да. Сделаем большие, так как перевод только текстовый у игры. Озвучки нет. Ну, наверное, больше к счастью. Вот, в общем, ладно, приступаем к игре непосредственно. Смотрим заставочку. Это история человека по имени Стэнли.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been
Замечательная
paid
работа.
exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Как и
And
любой
then one day, something
любой день
very
айтишника.
peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
С возвращением. Спасибо. Так, ну чё, собственно, начинается наш геймплей. Давайте так, у игры очень много концовок. И они все, ну, такие довольно короткие в плане пути прохождения к концовкам. Что наратор, ну, то есть рассказчик нам будет нас вести. Да, и первую концовку мы такую традиционную, да, получим с вами. Вот, то есть будем следовать прям сугубо строго указаниям наратора, а в дальнейшем уже, собственно, посмотрим, что из этого, какие могут быть казусные ситуации возникать, если его не слушать. Но первое вот прохождение наше, да, вот мы будем следовать подсказкам.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Такие офисы. Довольно старенькие, несовременные.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Вот, вошли в левую дверь, все нормально, все хорошо. Мы Стэнли. Шагаем, гуляем. Оп.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
И тут
Feeling
никого
a
не
wave of
оказалось.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Подсобка. У нас тут...
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Окей, хорошо. Так, дальше что?
Staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Хорошо. Идем наверх. Так, а тут что? Туалет начальника. Быть богатым — это преступление. Если... Чего? Ни хера непонятно. Половину текста чуть не могу прочитать. Так.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley
Так.
was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Какой же?
2845.
Так.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Ой. Бля. Ошибся. Тут, кстати, можно дофига раз ошибаться и...
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Да не. Или 2580. Давайте вот так.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Довели наратора до ручки. Нормально. Так, ух ты. Какие помещения. Нифига ж себе. Воу-воу-воу-воу-воу. Какие же секреты от нас скрывают.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Угу. Окей. Что же нас ждет?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Опа. Выход. Ну давайте. Прям вот по сюжету пройдем. Опа.
Lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ну, конечно, отважился. Мы же главный герой всей истории. Мы же Стэнли. Стэнли ничто ни почем.
Now the
Опа.
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Так, а чё наш 427-й? А, вон, да. Видим свой кабинетик. Клёво. Оп.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Так. А чё он там сказал? Ждем включения, да? Выкл. Давай выкл. Опа.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking. Happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Вау.
That was all he needed to know.
Вот это, представляете?
Perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Всю жизнь вот так вот.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Так вот всю жизнь контролировали вас, да? Вот так вот, опа, и все.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of
Свобода!
liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ей! Ну, собственно, все. Вот, пройдите игру, да. Достижение открыто. Вот мы прошли игру. А теперь... самая веселая часть игры начинается. Самая-самая. Знаете, что мы можем сделать? Сделать вот так. Все.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No.
Страшно же.
This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me.
Ну да.
Nothing will break me.
Чё?
In here I can be happy for
Ну да, вот у меня
I
компьютер.
will be happy.
Да, буду.
Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by?
Да,
He
кто
no longer
знает.
had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
Угу.
Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Опа. Еще одна концовка. Так, ну давайте. Теперь будем, наоборот, вообще не слушать наратора.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a message.
Я тут, кстати,
No matter how
вспомнил.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Кстати, вспомнил, тут вот еще одна концовочка содержится. Только надо вспомнить, как вот забраться сейчас. У нас же кнопка прыжка завезлась. Прыгать нельзя? За это ачивку дали. Блин. Опять накололи, да боже мой. Ладно, короче. Тут как-то вот надо... Ща. Вот так. Пройти. Вот. Сейчас. Вот так. И вот сюда. Да. Опа.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Ну да.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Какое-то
Why don't
говно.
you take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think?
Ну да.
You sick of this gag yet?
Ну чё, выбираем, да или нет? Давайте. Да, давайте. Мнение ваше. Чё, надоел этот прикол нам с подтекстурным миром этой игры? Да, нет, да, нет, да. Да. Чё ответим? Давайте. Какой у нас будет вариант? Нет? Ну давай.
Then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly...
Ну потом да, ответим.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Ха. Ну, давайте перезапустим. И еще раз сюда вернемся, и тогда ответим «дам». Так, только... Оп-оп-оп. О, как мы прям быстро. Опа. Давай.
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure.
Ну, да, некоторые реплики, конечно, повторяются, но вариации все равно существуют.
Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Так, теперь отвечаем «да».
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Ну, давай. О, музыка.
There once was a man named Stэнli, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly.
Ну, блин.
What Stэнli liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain long ceased to function.
Мне кажется, это любой айтишник
Which is
так.
why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Ну, блин. Да за что? А, типа все? Так, ну окей, давайте заново. Все. Теперь будем проходить так, чтобы не слушаться наратора.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
А, тут же еще,
Mr. Memo.
кстати, приколы есть там на эти, на компьютеры надо определенные нажимать.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
Потому что там тоже можно какой-то прикол открыть. Я вот сейчас только вспомнил. Так. Ой, кстати, я же забыл прочитать. Тут в ачивках тоже приколы есть всякие. Сейчас. Играйте в Стэнли Парабл весь вторник. Интересно. Описание тестового достижения. Заменить. Тестовые достижения не трогать. Нажмите на дверь 435 раз. О, подождите, да это ж легко. Сейчас, секунду. Вот же она, да.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
Ну да.
No. I can't just give these merits away with such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Так, ладно, давайте.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes,
Да блин.
most certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417? Окей. Ну, давайте искать дверь 417. Так, 420. О, 417.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Окей. Давайте искать. 436. Подождите. А, вот, 437. Окей.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Да ты издеваешься. Окей. Ну, давай. 416, 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
А, чё ты делаешь? 437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Копия машин? Сейчас. А где ксерокс-то?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419? А как? А.
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Окей, давай.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Так, ксерокс. Вот тут у нас, да? Окей.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes, we did it.
Ура!
That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just
Спасибо.
think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks.
Ну да.
Really now, what were you thinking?
Ну блин. Сука, тролли, а. Блин, ну это ж реально прикольно. Это ж прям вот, ну...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
А
entered
вот
the
и
door
нет.
on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Так.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ну да, конечно. Смотрите, какая кайфуха.
Truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
А вот и нет.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Конечно.
convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Блин, чувак, ты меня заставлял то ксерокс сжимать, то кабинеты там всякие разные. Ты чё? Ты шо, гонишь? Я еще должен довериться ему.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Нет.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Нет.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to
Да.
find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Ну, давай.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Чё, в какую дверь заходим? Давайте. Опять голосование. Какой мне войти? В левую? Нет, давайте так. В левую, посередине или в правую? Да, я и моя шиза, действительно. Согласен. Чё, давайте. Если будут разные варианты, вы там тогда в чатике по моей команде, ну там, короче, так, правая, вижу вариант. Так, так, давайте. В какую? Вот да, вот смотри, если вот я предлагаю так. Если разные варианты будут, да, то на счет 3, да, вот я произнесу 3, вот только подготовьтесь, заранее напишите там слово камень, ножницы или бумага. А, в оба правую. Ну, все окей. В оба написали один и тот же вариант. Окей, заходим в правую.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some
Ну,
feedback here.
ну, я думаю, на двоечку что-то.
Well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it.
Ну да,
You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term.
ну да, да.
It didn't cause you excruciating pain.
Действительно.
Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ну давай. О, блин, доску поместили. Ну давайте. Опять же вправо пойдем. Так.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep through the Again, honest answers, please.
Ну, вообще нет.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You
Ну,
wouldn't
давай.
mind taking a look at it, would you?
Да, конечно.
Let me boot it up.
А, давай. Опа.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail.
Ага.
It's a very
Окей.
meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So
Чего?
give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Да не, ну это вообще...
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey.
Да ладно.
Awful. Why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the
О,
pain.
давай.
Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
А давай, попробуем. Чё там? Куда нас отправит?
Aha!
О! Нифига
What do you think
себе.
this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man.
Блин, короче, чтобы вы понимали, в оригинале, ну, в оригинальной версии игры, там, типа, мы играем в Майнкрафт. Вот, а тут поменяли на тоже такую довольно популярную игру, там еще называют что-то типа симулятора пожарника, короче, ну, там, типа, чувак, который работает, там, лесным рейнджером, бля, я не знаю, как у них там в Америке. Ну, короче, давайте по-нашему егерем, вот. Ну и, собственно, пытается предотвратить лесной... Firewatch она, по-моему, называется, да. Вот, даже можно, кстати, в Стиме, короче, посмотреть. Там вот, сейчас я покажу логотип. Так, магазин, популярная. Так, сейчас. Firewatch. Да. Ну, даже, типа, логотип вот одинаковый, прям один в один. И вот мужик, соответственно, тоже в будке. Ну и, собственно, вот, пародия на эту игру.
Civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a
Блин.
fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Ну, давай, посмотрим. Вау. Ну, кстати, практически один в один графика. Как в той игре, да. Firewatch. Ай. Не с той стороны пошел. Ну ладно. Прикиньте, мы оказались в другой игре, блядь. А я не могу. Я ж как бы... Прыжка-то нету. Я что тут подкололи то, что типа... Как бы вроде в управлении есть, а... Что такое? Что такое? Чего не может быть? Ага. В смысле? Да в смысле?
Thank heavens we are out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Ладно.
Something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Так. Вау. Ого. О, это же Rocket League.
Exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here.
Короче, опять же, к чему отсылочка? К какой игре? Так, ща. Это у нас, так, Rocket. В смысле? Не понял. А чё, в Стиме ее уже нету? Прикольно. Ща просто покажу. Так. Rocket League, вот, да. Это, короче, такой футбол на машинках. Ну, вот как раз вот, типа, самая, да, вот, попсовенькая карта. Вот так выглядит. Ну, довольно забавная такая игруля. Оп.
Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Да хуй тут заблудиться? Вы чё? Прикалываетесь, что ли?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball?
Да.
Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We
Спортбол,
shall
блин.
run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
У. А ну-ка. Е. Сейчас забьем гол. Сейчас забьем. Сейчас забьем. Бля, а скорость-то?
Are you winning? Is this fun?
Ага.
Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard?
Да.
Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal,
Ей,
then
забил.
surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Уи.
Try it out. Here comes another ball.
Где? У.
Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a
Уи.
child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more.
Ага. Давай, давай, давай.
More balls.
Уи. Ей, куча мечей вообще. Уи. Крутота.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? You having
Конечно.
Is this a real
Это
thing?
вообще офигенные.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time because guess what? It's
О,
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end.
Ну,
This is
блин.
my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. Hold on. What are you doing?
сваливаю.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
А чё, в смысле, все? А, па-па-па-па-па. И что мне делать? Интересно, я нажимаю на кнопку действий, как будто как бы печатаю. Error player invalid. Интересно. Work in progress. Прикольно. Ну чё, походу выпиливаться надо. Уить. Так. И чё, и где мы? У нас какой-то тут лабиринт. А чё мы где есть-то? Нифига еще не видно. Ой, погодите-ка. А, вы поняли, это же коридоры наших офисов. Очень похоже. О, я до своего кабинета нашел, вы прикиньте. Йоу. Так. То есть не... Опа. И что-то все.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Окей. Ну, это было довольно забавно. Опа.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Бля, я что-то прослушал. Какой он... Блядь, какой он... Ну... Она продиктовала, что нужно найти коробку в каком-то кабинете. Бля, я прослушал номер кабинета. Ладно. Ладно.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Давайте еще раз
this was
правую.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get
Я, кстати...
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Мне, кстати, интересно. Вот если мы прям до конца наверх поднимемся, вот что будет? Куда мы попадем?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Для кого для нее?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Ой, что-то страшно.
She's been waiting.
Опа.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To
Кто
reach
она-то?
out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Ладно.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Ну да.
It wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? Did you... Wait a second. Did I just see...
Ну-ка.
No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Да, да, это я.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices.
Да,
And to think I've been letting you
именно.
run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can
Для чего?
educate you properly on safe decision-making in the
А.
real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He
Так,
could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking.
Какое полезное видео.
And practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this.
Ну давай.
Ah, welcome back. You may have
Опа.
noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Ага.
Don't worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Хорошо. Ну давай. Я готов сделать правильный выбор.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Блин.
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We
Нет.
have to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Я же не умру. Я же не умру. О, все. Не, платформа нормальная, все отлично. Едем дальше. Нормально, нормально. А, это типа...
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free.
Все, хорошо. Я понял. Хорошо, спасибо, спасибо, спасибо.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stэнli would.
Ага,
That
хорошо.
means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Понял,
Quite sure you'll
хорошо.
be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Так. Угу.
When Stэнli came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
И чё, в какой Сука, я же даже не знаю, в какой войти-то. Давайте. В левую, в правую, в правую, в левую. Ну и так еще вкратце поделитесь, что, как вам, как вам игрулька-то. Так, вообще сначала вариант, потом, собственно, куда мы пойдем. Послушаемся. Будем ли мы послушными или нет? Али нет. Хотя у нас... Ой, сколько еще вариаций может произойти. Ребята, вообще кайфуха. Левую? Ну, это да, это такие тут корки, конечно. Довольно прикольно. Это все один чувак написал. Все вот эти повороты, подвороты и прочее прям... Отдам ему должное, он отличный сценарист мета-иронии или типа того. Так, ну окей, давайте в левую пойдем. Все-таки послушаемся наратора.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stэнli decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
А чё, уж закрытая кладовка?
Coming to a staircase, Stэнli
Вниз
went
нету,
upstairs to his
вы
boss's
поняли?
office.
Там была выход вниз. Вы ж помните, да? Он говорит то, что поднимайтесь наверх. А сейчас мы, блин, мы полностью... Он нам все забаррикадировал. Боже мой. Охренеть. Вы прикиньте. На сортире нету таблички. Ёпрос. У-у-у.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Офигеть,
Shocked,
офигеть.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
Пипец.
Surely behind this
Кабинет
were all the
изменился.
answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115.
Чё
Was
на...
this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
А как говорить-то? Акула 115?
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Nightshark 115? Блядь, в
I'm sorry, is
смысле?
there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
Да и
Please
как мне?
speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Так, подождите, стойте. Стойте, может в управлении присесть? Прыжок, действие. Nightshark 115?
Okay, fine. You're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to
Да
do.
в смысле,
I
чувак?
asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Окей, что ты психуешь? Ладно, все. Чувак, расслабься.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the
Это
task.
какой-то
Just follow my lead and you'll
сбой.
be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
А вот давай еще раз пойдем в левую. А я вот теперь все, принципиально в левую буду ходить. А чё бы нет? А вот
There was
хочу.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Ага.
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means
А, теперь все.
always
Окей.
putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just
Ну
follow
давайте
my
в
lead
правую
and you'll be
пойдем,
fine.
окей.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
И чё, я в какую-то петлю попал?
Oh, it's ruined. You can't believe after everything we talked about, my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
В смысле?
I have to.
Ё-моё. Блядь, как... Вот это в натуре хоррор. Ой-ой-ой.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Да. Ну прости.
I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley.
Ну блин, я
He knows
пытался.
how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Опа.
door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine.
Нифига тут команды собралось.
Work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me?
Блин,
Are you there? You
как
listening to
грустно.
this? Stanley, are you there?
Да я тут, я тут.
Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Чё так грустно?
All of
Опа.
his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Да. Ну чё тут... Ого. Нихера тут коробок. Ёпта, везде коробки. Чё-то вообще прям... До хрена коробок.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Типа все изменения
Yet
добавились
not
в
a single
коробки.
person here either. Feeling
Ладно.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
А мне нравится. Нормальная подсобка. Красивая. Ой. Случайно. Ладно, ладно, все.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs.
А давайте
to his
вниз
boss's
пойдем.
office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting
Чего?
he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he
Предупреждение,
taken that risk?
блядь, нихера
All
себе.
because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Действительно.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief.
Скорее просто обдолбался.
An explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
Так, какой же?
Amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing?
Я же говорю, я обдолбался.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Ну, черт его знает.
Speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
Действительно, как ты это? Change my mind.
If he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the pulse of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Опа, какая Мариэлла.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on
Опа.
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Хм. Так, ну давайте еще одну концовочку
Wait,
откроем. Опа.
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Так. А у нас-то нужно...
No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Хм. Давайте компьютеры подключаем.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he
Это
entered
мы
the door of the
помним.
left.
Это мы помним. А, там же был еще это, точно, выход.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
Блять,
up to his
подсобка
boss's
закрыта.
office,
Черт.
hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Так, сортир на месте. Все хорошо. Опа. Опа. А что, эта дверь открывается? И куда это мы? Ну, допустим, наверх. А я что-то даже не знал, что тут лифт. Может, это добавили? Ага, 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 ага. Ладно, а если вниз? А, этот лифт просто имитирует движение, окей. Стэнли. Лаунж. Ну ладно, допустим. Ок.
Stepping in,
Опа. А чё в смысле? Я успел выбежать до закрытия дверей, а что делать? Тут уже другая какая-то надпись. А что делать-то? Я сломал игру, что ли? Или что? Нет, так, подождите. Все закрыто стало. Может, назад вернемся? Что-то все лагает. А что делать-то? Я... Ребят. Что делать-то? О! Дверь открылась. 428. Опа. Куда это мы уходим? Так, ладно. Ну, хоть тут всех спасательных... Какой этаж? 760? Чё? Чё за портал начался? А, мне типа на 760 этаж идти. Лифт типа не работает, да? Окей. И голос пропал. Вообще ничего не комментируется. Первый раз такое наблюдаю. А мне что-то показалось, что... Хм. Чё, Кать, Паш, как вам игра-то? Или вы что там, все уже? Вот пивасик уснули? Вместо, вместо запуска спасательных капсул. Выход. О, еще один выход нашел. Прикольно. Я иду, что-то вообще необычно. Ну да. А, а чё, я типа спасся?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Бля,
Stanley
ладно.
decided to go to the meeting room.
Давайте,
Simply missed
ну
the
давайте другой этот выберем. Подождите, мы же, блять, коридор, по-моему, же другой был, не? Мы как-то вот, по-моему, прямо и направо поворачивали. Или я что-то путаю? По-моему, расположение поменялось. Бля, или меня глючит уже.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Бля,
Stanley
подсобка все
decided to go
закрыто.
up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Так, а чё надпись сортире, интересно? Поменялось? Да. Бля. А, походу, при каждой этой новой петле меняется название. Прикольно.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his
Вы там
tracks.
2,
Not a
8,
living
4...
soul
Блин.
anywhere.
Не-не.
Could he
2...
really be all alone?
Не, 2,
This was too
8,
much for
4,
Stanley to take.
5.
Too much. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Ну, блин.
So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Да блин. Ну ё-моё.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Даже заспидранить не дали. Ну ё-моё.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Не, давайте...
Though this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Да в смысле? Да за шо?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Не хочу. Хочу
At this
сбежать.
point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his death, he
Ooh.
reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Не-не-не-не-не-не-не-не-не-не. Опа.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Опа. Обманул.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Этот рассказчик
When every
поменялся.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Дорога от кабинета до 2 дверей была сделана самой первой. Затем, по ходу разработки, разные части офиса добавлялись изменения, но базовая схема осталась почти без изменений. Ага. Это окей, карта офиса. Типа вот мы идем коридор. Мы пытались подобрать правильный ритм для начала игры, поэтому перемещали и изменяли коридор, чтобы игрок доходил до 2 дверей за нужное время. Окей. 2 двери. 2 открытые двери были первым основным элементом дизайна Стэнли Парабл. Вся остальная игра во многом выросла вокруг этой комнаты. Стала следствием выбора, которое она давала. Боже, мы как будто как, знаете, в «Матрице» очутились у архитектора, короче. Шкафчики с бумагами. Спасибо. Офисный компьютер. О, пасьянс косынка. Сианская что-то копируется. Ну, слушайте, довольно реалистично. Да, вот прям. Такие офисные пространства. Компьютер Стэнли. Ох, прям, бля, отдельный стенд. Класс. Картины природы. Так, тут что еще? Офис. Ничего не открывается, да? Звук кнопок. Также... Прикольно. Такие звуки издают кнопки, которые вы нажимаете в игре. Каждая из них смесь звука, клавиши, клавиатуры с синтезаторным тоном. Окей. Типа а-ля комната разработчиков. Офисные часы. Кабинет начальника. Ой, это что, такие вариации, что ли? Кабинета начальника? Прикольно. Прикольно. Так, а тут что у нас? Комната отдыха. Подземная часть. Опа. Дубли рассказчика. Кейн Брайт, озвучивающий наратора, примерно трижды записывал реплики до всей игры за 2 года разработки. Это отрывки из ранних дублей, которые не вошли в финальную версию. Прикольно. Слушайте, а я ни разу здесь не был. Концовка «Свобода». Это первая реализация концовки «Свобода» из альфа-версии игры. Ага, окей. Стол, обратный отсчет. В это время ли в комнате монитор мог двигаться вверх, свобода, и вниз, обратный отсчет. Мы решили объединить концовки, когда выяснилось, что игрокам слишком сложно запомнить, что вверху, а что внизу. А что тут поднимается? Концовка «Свобода». Это концовка «Свобода» из бета-версии. Да Да вы гоните. А это что, Ли в комнате с мониторами? Какое-то время. Ага, окей.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Выкл. Давай выкл. Оп.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Хорошо, что делать?
Press quit. There's no other way. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Ай! Все-таки раздавили. Ах. Так, что, все? Типа... А, вот. Ладно.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Ладно. Так, и еще одну концовку можно получить, насколько я помню. Бля, а чё вот этот комп не нажимается? Я помню, были вот такие компы. Типа, на них нажимаешь 5 штук. Вот там, да, 5 рисок. Типа, и ты можешь еще одну концовку открыть. Новый контент. Опа.
Oh, new content? What does that mean? New
Действительно.
content?
Самому интересно. Ну, давайте. Заценим. Новый контент.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you
Мгм.
may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home
Да, довольно древняя. Но очень крутая.
critical and commercial success. It was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe
Так.
features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Ага.
Please step inside and
Мне нравится идея того, то, что реклама внутри игры, как бы этой же игры. Типа, такое вот тоже.
see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Ну и
Well,
что же?
this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra
Да, да, да,
Deluxe
да, да,
content.
да, да, да. Что же там? Что же там? Ну. Кто нас там ждет?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Я прям с нетерпением жду. Ей, давай.
Is it What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content.
Ну,
I've
давай,
never
давай.
been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
А чё я должен показывать? Ты мне покажи. Ты шо, пьяный? Так.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Нифига себе. Можно прыгать. Ну, давайте. Ей, мы можем прыгать. Весело. Все? Ну, блин. Ну ладно, что еще завезли?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
Ну, что-то да,
It's
ты
just
прав.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If
Ну
this
да.
is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Ну, давай. И что же?
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar.
350 рублей попрошу.
The level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please."
Да,
ignore."
кстати.
What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
Вообще.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Ну, давай.
What do you say, friend?
Опа. А это действительно уже новый контент.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Ну чё, лезем в вентиляцию или идем по лестнице? Давайте. Давайте выбирать новый контент. Вон даже прыжочки были. Ей. Чё выбираем? Гайсы. Чё мы сделаем? Давайте. Мне интересно. Вентиляция. Отлично. Приключения. Уи. Ну что ж, погнали. Что нас ожидает?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out
Конечно,
to be?
помним.
It got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Нифига себе.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can
Oh
relive
my
the peak
God.
experiences of my life
Wow.
whenever I want.
Oh my
Experiences
God.
like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Так. Ага.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
О, да. Это, кстати, премия Бафта игровая. Ну да. 2013. О, это так мило. Это так круто. Тот самый ремейк. Славное было время. Эх. Действительно. Прогулка в прошлое. Первый $1 заработанный. Ох, прекрасно. Да, это ж демка. Ой, блин, да. Легендарная ачивка — не играть в течение 5 лет. Да. Типа, да. Ачивку, которую невозможно заработать. А? Ай, прекрасно, прекрасно, просто прекрасно. Сегодня выходит новая игра. Авторы снизили планку. Нормально. Ставит перед выбором. А он, кстати, концовка та самая. С суицидом. Ой, на ютубе, по-моему, нельзя это слово произносить. Ну, похуй.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley
О, да.
Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Дел ремонта зоны памяти. Прикольно. А, кстати, да, там помимо вот Майнкрафта, как раз вот про что я упоминал, там еще вот пародия на Портал была. Игру, да. Ох, знаменитая развилка. Персона года, Стэнли. А это, походу, да, это девелоперские инструменты по созданию карты. Ну и прочий инструментарий, в принципе. Хм.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It
Действительно.
didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Хм. А, то, кстати, где-то ж пишется номер попытки еще, точно.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Ну так давай повторим, дружочек. Давай, что ты? Я что, против, что ли? Давай все починим.
Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Ой, много
Surely these
чего.
reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Опа,
Honestly,
недовольный.
I can't be bothered to play this game to full completion.
Так.
The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Господи, у меня сейчас передоз мета-юмором будет. Прям вообще конкретный. Ой, одни негативные ревьюшечки. Вообще непорядок. Вообще непорядок.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Ну давай,
While the
посмотрим.
idea for the game is good, someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Goodness. This is
Ну,
actually
самую
shocking
малость.
for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
Ну, не то
I can't know
чтобы.
how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always...
Ну, чувак, не расстраивайся. Ну, чё ты?
What's this one got to say?
Так.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
Ну, не помешал бы,
What if it means
кстати.
we can strike these negative reviews from the record? Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto.
Воу-воу-воу, ты
I'll
чё
do
делаешь?
anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second mind... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in...
А еще раз. Опа.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be
Действительно.
honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place.
По-моему, нельзя.
I guess I should become better educated on exactly how... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated.
Ну, давай не буду,
And we can
окей.
say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
А, вообще да,
Was there a
кстати.
door that led into this room? I
Велась.
feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
Вон вентиляция.
I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on.
Ну, давай поищем.
Step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave?
Ну, давай попробуем.
I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door.
Опа.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've
Блин.
looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh,
Ой.
my goodness. I have someone to
Цветочек
talk to again.
аж это завял.
Stanley, I think it's been a week.
Неделя?
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
Ну, цветочек завял, освещения нет.
You saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was
Я
a
им
vessel
готов
I
быть.
needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear.
Опа. А сейчас?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I
Так.
stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it.
В армии.
To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed
Можно сказать.
opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust.
Я так хочу это пропустить, но одновременно не хочу.
I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was
Ну просто ради интереса, он реально будет вечно болтать или нет?
It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible, the spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now.
Опа. Голос пропал. Блин, я чё, я убил наратора, о боже мой, сколько лет прошло. Так, ща поищем, может что-нибудь появилось? Какая-нибудь дверь. Пожалуйста. Что ты со мной делаешь? Почему ты так меня терзаешь? О боже мой. Так, еще раз. Часики упали. Все у нас это. А еще раз.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person.
Теперь совсем пропало. Что там, что-нибудь появилось? Мне вот просто интересно, что-нибудь будет появляться за этой... Не просто так тут эта стенка стоит. Тут, мне кажется, по-любому.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Это он сейчас цитирует строчку во время загрузки экрана.
end, is never the 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 end, is never...
У меня реально какой-то передоз метаиронии. Опа. О, нифига. Всё разрушилось. Так. Цвет появился. Уже прорастать начало. Уже что-то попахивает этим порталом. Прям в начале такие пейзажи были. Так. Что-то все снова разрушило. Оп. Что-то, по-моему, начало как-то сгущаться, что ли. Ну, типа, свет более приглушенный и какой-то очень тревожный звук. Опа. Ой. А чё, кнопка перестала работать, интересно? Да? Все сломали, блин. Хм. Но пейзаж довольно красивый, прям. Только куда идти-то? А куда хочешь, куда по кайфу, куда глаза глядят, куда ноги идут. Пу-пу-пу-пу-пу-пу. Сука. Ладно.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Да. Ту-тру-ту-ту-ту-ту-тру-ту-ту-ту-ту. Ой, вывеска, по-моему, поменялась. Ну, давайте еще раз сходим в новый контент.
Oh, good. You notice my sign.
Ага.
I have something very exciting to show you.
А может, это одно и то же будет? Ладно, давайте еще на одну концовку выйдем.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
И про еще одну вспомнил.
Single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Подсобка все
Stanley decided to
закрыто.
go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Кстати, надпись в туалете поменялась? Не, уже не меняется.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad,
Опа.
Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill Supreme.
Он уже устал. Уже сам все открывает, все. Ну, чё, первый раз, что ли, играем? Действительно. Бла-бла-бла-бла-бла. Да-да-да-да-да.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this...
Отличие будет в том, то, что мы тогда отключили машину, но мы же хотим увидеть, то если наоборот включить машину по контролю разума.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature
Уволен.
each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
Кто-то из сотрудников был уволен. Чё там, не уснули еще? От чтения текста. То сейчас пока будет повторяющаяся секция.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his...
Ой, ну хорошо. Это хорошо, это хорошо. Чё-то только Серега, походу, уснул.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Там Серега писал, что что-то это... Может уснуть. Есть такая вероятность. Понял, понял. Не, ну игра просто довольно такая прикольная, стёбная. Вот, чё, а сейчас... А сейчас мы наоборот.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself.
Да.
Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation.
Да, ё-моё.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
А что делать?
Your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape
столько кнопок.
Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one.
А, вон же кнопки.
More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
1, 2, 0521.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story.
Надо вот эти коды, мне кажется, попробовать. 0521, там.
Pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this.
А где кнопки-то?
This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I
Кнопка
come up
3.
with on the next go around, better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Черт, я походу не успею.
You know what? To hell with it.
Что-то я не могу кнопку 0 найти.
Extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Там пятерка, вот тут двойка.
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? You saw that timer.
Тут тройка.
Something in this room was capable of turning it off.
Бляха-муха.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on
Нет,
every little thing in this room.
2-1 вот. 5 там. А где 0-то?
Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
Да должен быть.
Do you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your
четверка.
purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing.
Ну где же должна быть кнопка 0, по-любому.
Every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control.
Может где-то здесь? Нет. Она вроде светится.
So you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending. Just you.
Ну ё-моё!
Will you cling
Я не
desperately
хочу.
to your life, or will you let it go peacefully?
А-а-а.
Choice. Make it count or don't. It's all the same.
Не, вообще не могу 0 нигде найти.
I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say.
Может где-то здесь? А! Не успел. А!
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Действительно. Ничего не поменялось. Бляха-муха, а.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
Блин, тут еще одна, кстати...
Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section,
О!
straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on.
О, вот же еще есть. Точно, точно. Я думаю, что-то я забыл, да, вот еще одна какая-то концовка должна
But
быть.
Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Уверен? О! Я сверху оказался.
This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Ай, блин.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Опа.
When Stanley... Wait, what? Hang on. No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Нет.
Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ёптать. Да идти-то. Ну, давай сюда пойдем. Нет, там это, по-моему, гараж. Бляха-муха. Куда идти-то?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by
Я
starting
просто
over
хочу,
and
чтобы вы
over again.
помучились.
But it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Бля. Ладно.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Бля, там открыта дверь. Я туда хотел попасть. И что, 4:20? Не работает. Эх, ладно.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Ну, давай назад вернемся. А тут компьютер вообще потух. Прикольно.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The
Um.
story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Ну, давай. А. Ты
Now
вообще...
well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Да.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Наконец-то! Ура!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Спасибо.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about
А в
this.
смысле?
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
А, ё-моё. О! Полоска
All
появилась.
right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stэнli Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Ну, давай. Опа. В другую дверь. Идем мы, приключения ждут
See,
нас.
the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even though
Опа.
there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving
Так,
forward,
ребят.
occupying a journey
Давай
such that
сосредоточимся. Куда идти?
destination
По
is
линии
independent
или
being,
наоборот?
manifestation of the nature of life itself. Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact
Куда идти?
a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay,
Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact
По
the
линии?
skeleton
Ну
of my
ладно.
own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Это пьяная линия. Ой, а там что? Ой, а там какая-то другая линия, что ли? Что-то я запутался. Подождите, мы откуда пришли?
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important
Так,
later in the
и
story.
какой же?
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Угу. Угу. Так.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Блядь.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
О, вот мы как раз оказались с этой стороны. Если через стекло смотрели. Ага.
Oh, no. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
Ну давай.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ну давай.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Прикольно. Прикольная такая петелька.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in the awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Просто жесть.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all Determined?
Спустя долгое время Стэнли умирает. Класс.
Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say?
Тут даже выбора-то. Выбор без выбора.
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
Опа.
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Мы хотя бы узнали, что в ту что в ту дверь можно попасть. Мне интересно, как вот запустить вот этот алгоритм? Мне кажется, по-любому какие-нибудь там гайды, еще что-нибудь есть. А, вот все.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Опа.
he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire.
Вон и линии наши, прикинь, остались. Прикиньте.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Оп. А если назад пойти? Ну мы вернулись просто к этой двери, окей. Игра просто великолепная.
Yes, there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Опа.
Here's the door, just go.
Уже прям сразу открывает нам. Уже все. Замучился. Великолепно.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ну дальше уже там, по-моему, все. Так же будут концовки идти. Ну да. Здесь две концовки, здесь одна концовка. Ну, короче, как-то так. Ну, там еще парочку можно найти, но это там уже по гайдам надо прочитать. Угу. Ну чё, наверное, тогда все. Сегодня закруглимся. Что там, сколько трансляции идет? 2,5 часа. Ну, за 2,5 часа мы почти все концовки открыли, да. Дальше уже там такие. Уже по гайдам надо. Вот. Ну, тем не менее, ничего себе. Всё, прикиньте, сколько всего открыли-то. Прям замечательно, круто. Вот. В общем, спасибо, что были со мной. Серега, походу, все там с концами уснул в кресле. под монотонное звучание замечательного наратора. Это была довольно веселая игра. Вот. Новый контент тоже прям очень порадовал. Прям все довольно круто. Все, как всегда, весело было. Спасибо, что были со мной. Ну, собственно, там уже увидимся. Чё да как. Чё почём, хоккей с мячом. Все, давайте. Доброй ночи.